Hey, yo, what's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm flying solo for Tuesday. That's right, but I'm not necessarily because I'm with all of you. So thank you all for tuning in live to this episode. And yes, we got plenty to talk about. So much AEW pay per view, obviously. Did not watch Saturday night's main event, so I'm not going to cover that much, actually, be honest. And we'll talk about Raw and any other things that are hitting dirt sheets. Oh, I have some fun off topics to talk about too. But let's say hi to some folks in the chat here. We got Triple E in the house. If you guys want help out Triple E, he's got some stuff going on. He's trying to get some job opportunities going. If you're on Facebook, go to Working Stiff and join the group chat on the Working Stiff group chat. You can get some details. But hi, Triple H. What's up, y'all? See Marcus D'Angelo making Raw worth talking and Logan being gone. I've never been this lucky before now. I just can't find it. Now, if I can find a ride, yes, that's what he's referring to. So, yes, if you want to help Triple E out, go to the Facebook Working Stiff group, join it, and take a look at what he's saying. Because we got 69305. Dave Meltzer definitely don't need any Blue Chew after Sunday night's epic pay-per-view. AEW does it again. What a show. Big Boss follows up with that. AEW pay-per-view was on steroids. Trey Owens, hello R&I, Double or Nothing was a decent show, and we get a new pay-per-view from AEW in July. That's right. They just announced AEW Redemption in Montreal, Canada. So that'll be very interesting. Funny enough that Tony Khan was actually asked about a filler pay-per-view in July during the media call before Double or Nothing. He was like, yeah, we're looking into it. And so sure enough, they were. Triple E says, did Dom get the new RVD, bud? Forgot he doing a show. No, we're doing a RVD. We're doing Wednesday nights. We move to a Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday now, typically. So be sure to tune in. Wednesday night is the new night for RVD. One of a kind. Join us live. We do raffles. I have to actually do last week's raffle on the next episode because I forgot. I forgot at the end of the show to do it. Devin Dowling, AEO. Big Boss says Danhausen cursed the episode. Oh, was that because I showed up late? What happened? Wrestling Golden says, good after morning, all. Hope the holidays were well for everyone. Not to be hyperbolic, but the AEW pay-per-view was better than it had any right to be. Wow. Triple E says, Marcus D'Angelo, too famous now for us regular people. Not quite. Marcus might be joining me on Thursday for Rumor and Innuendo. So the D'Angelo brothers may be making a podcast return together for this episode. So Thursday, book your calendars. Could be me and Marcus doing it live. All right. What do I want to start with? Well, everybody's talking about Double or Nothing, AEW Double or Nothing, and what a great show it was. I'll be forthright. I did not purchase or watch the pay-per-view. So what I caught was what I caught online, what I saw from social media clips. But man, by all accounts, it was a stacked show. So much different kind of cool things happening. I mean, you had Cope and Cage winning the tag team titles as they should have in what was a super memorable match to kick off the show. And you had to have that happen. You had to think Tony Khan was like, I have to have Christian on my title history for my tag team titles because it just further legitimizes what you're doing. And, the fact that they haven't, won a tag titles in years and years and years, it's just really means something. Plus you factor in Beth Phoenix making her return and the elements that go into play with all of that. Just a really cool kind of payoff for Cope and Christian. So congrats to them. And congrats to the good buzz that they're getting around all that. I'll follow up with this. This is completely off topic. But did anybody happen to catch the Matt Hardy beef that he happened to have with Joe Pearl of Fightful? Did anybody catch wind of that on social media? So Joe Pearl, not familiar with, definitely heard his name before, but never saw him or interacted with him, whether online or personally. But he happened to say referenced the Bound for Glory, TNA Bound for Glory, that happened at the end of 2005, and called the match between the Hardys and Team 3D, the Dudleys, used the adjective "stupid" match, and that got more promotion over their actual world title match. Matt fired back, happened to say like Joel is from Fightful, and Fightful has a good reach of people and has an influence in certain ways. And why did you call it stupid? And Joel didn't respond to him. Joel did make a comment on his own X account, not tagging Matt, saying, he's watched my shows. He knows what I'm talking about and stuff like that. And then somebody stooged on him and tagged Matt in that tweet and in the responses. And Matt then caught wind of it and did a video on Joel, like, kind of explaining. So it's been an interesting back and forth. And then Bully Ray gets involved, invites him on Busted Open Radio to plead his case and make his reasoning for why he called it stupid. They did not respond, but then Jeremy Lambert, one of his co-hosts from Fightful, who I'm friends with, happened to say like, "Oh, come on our show and do it, Matt. We have our own show that we do. Why don't you and stay your case?" And so it's been a whole back and forth kind of thing. I think if you say something, right, if you put it out there, the star that you're talking about, who is in the match, asks you about it, why not respond to him? And this is for several reasons. You're getting an interaction with the star that you can directly correlate. That adds to your credibility if you're bringing things back, and you can have a fine discourse with this person and try to get something across. Now, obviously, it's social media, and you cannot get things across in the complete manner because people will take things out of context or whatever, what have you. But you set up a discourse first and foremost. Is it called subtweeting when you don't tweet somebody back? I don't know what it's called, but whatever it may be, the fact that he didn't tag Matt and talk back to Matt, don't like that. Not a fan of that. I think why not tell him and give him a reasoning? I think it's not good behavior to do online. And so another aspect too, Matt's a big star. Like, he's got a huge following. Why not respond to him? That gets you eyes on you and on what you're doing. And yeah, people will go crap on you. Maybe, obviously, that happens in social media, but people might see your side. And maybe Matt sees your side once you explain why you explained it's stupid. But to Matt's case, like, hey, you could take the match for what it is, but ultimately, that's the match that drew. When I thought about Bound for Glory, that show, all I was thinking about was the Hardys versus the Dudleys and the Dudleys retirement. Like, that's what I thought about. And so Matt's got a great point. That created so much buzz for TNA at the time too. And it's just like, explain your case. Why did you call it stupid? What was your reasoning behind it? The fact that you don't respond to him, don't like it. Think you should. And then on the top of that, you have an opportunity to get on Busted Open Radio and make your case on which bigger reach, bigger audience than what Fightful does on the In the Weeds, I think it's called. And like, why not? Because then in turn, you help promote your show if you make your case legitimate enough for why you said it was stupid. Either way, like, I always kind of find this kind of discourse fascinating. And yeah, but I think though, if you're in the media world and you're in the media ecoscape, you have this discourse. You give your thoughts. You don't do that. I didn't like how that was handled on Joel's part. Don't know Joel, but ultimately, like, you just go back. Like, why not respond? I think it's very strange. How about the freaking Knicks? I know I was trying to find my Knicks hat, and I don't know where it is. I have my Knicks hat somewhere over there. Because I would wear the Knicks hat. I would wear the Knicks hat today, but I don't know where it is. But go Knicks! Sweep, baby. Love Jalen Brunson. Love that whole team. Josh Hart. OG. I like all those guys. So I'm pretty excited for that. But here we go. I hope Stokely get paid extra for that spot. Yeah, geez, going through that flaming tail. That was a cool visual, though. Very cool visual. Devin says, why would Matt give them his popularity on their show by them saying something dumb? That makes no sense. I agree. I agree. The fact that you did that, he's presenting you a big opportunity. Go on Busted Ray Radio and plead your case to Bully Ray and all of them. And maybe Matt would get on too and then do that. Like the fact that you said that and then you don't fire back like in a diplomatic fashion to Matt, but you just is it subtweeting? I don't even know. But when you don't tag him and you say something, doesn't it's not a good look. Not a good look, man. It isn't. Um, hey, from Ireland, Daniel Moosin. Hope I'm saying that right. Tell me if I'm pronouncing it right. Musin or Mussin? But hello, Daniel. Top of the morning to you, if you will. That's so cheesy, but thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you doing. Hope you become a regular tuning in here. We have a fun time diving into the chat. Yeah, I did see the Danhausen Nick shirts. Listen, what a fascinating aspect. Pro wrestling is everywhere. Jalen Brunson's a big fan. I saw a video of him and a trainer that's on the Nick staff, like doing the acknowledging Roman Reigns, and yeah, he's a big fan. So it's pretty cool. Next Fonzie episode might be this Wednesday. Triple E, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted. Here we go. WCW versus NWO was the best time in pro wrestling sports entertainment. I mean, I can't argue with that. I really can't. Because that's when I became a huge fan. So, I mean, I think that was the best time. However, an older generation will tell you Horseman versus Dusty Rhodes was the best time, or Bruno versus Nikolai, not Nikolai. Oh my God, why am I? Ivan Koloff is the best time. So it's just kind of dependent on the era you grew up in, I would say. Where is Mr. Road Dog? Sir, you are probably on the You Didn't Know YouTube channel because we do stream live on here. Actually, go to studio1sports.com. Road Dog podcast is not there anymore. Obviously, he's not doing a podcast right now. So go to studio1sports.com. That's where you get all this content that we're going to do here and stuff like that. Everybody, if you're online, if you're on X, if you're on YouTube, head over to studio1sports.com. Like, subscribe, interact with everybody there. That's where I really want to build this community. I got some good stuff planned. I'm going to get to work on it this week, as a matter of fact. If you like that show Around the Horn, which I was a huge fan of back in the day, boom, we're going to have a show like that. I used to do it. It's called The Hot Tag on WrestleZone, and I'm trying to bring that back. So everybody get ready and go to studio1sports.com, subscribe, comment, and say hi to everybody in here. Aaron Rodgers should retire as a New York Jet. Listen, I loved Aaron Rodgers. And as a Jet, I was so excited. I was so disappointed that he got hurt and it did not work out here. I don't blame Aaron Rodgers for what happened. The Jets are a horrible franchise. Woody Johnson is not a good owner. People do not, he does not socialize well. So therefore, he does not have connections in the league to make his team better. And he's kind of like an odd man looking out. So, but that being said, kind of like what they did in the offseason here. I love the draft that they had. Let's see if it's plays out on the turf in the right manner. So that's going to be where Aaron Jobs Glenn is on the line today this year, obviously. When we get in Studio One sports shirts or Razor shirts, stay tuned. We might try to work on something like that. That's not a bad idea. Oh my gosh, I would love this. Rob and I talked about this before. RVD and I did. The big boss asked Dom, can you get Joey Styles for either Fonzie or RVD? Be awesome to get Joey. Be very awesome to get Joey. I don't know how to touch base with him or anything to that effect, but boy, yeah, he'd be a good one, right? Somebody you don't hear from. And he was amazing at what he did. I give Joey more credit later on, tuning in after the fact as a solo commentator than what I did at the time. I thought, Joey's it was different. It was very different at the time. So I was not used to that. I wanted a JR. I wanted a Tony Schiavone, and Joey Styles was very different. But when you go back and look at what he did and how he elevated the ECW product and gave it more of that different flavor, Joey's one of the best to do it. So Daniel also reiterates something that is a big part of my childhood. WCW versus NW Revenge, the Starrcade edition needs new content. Oh, so they did a mod of that, right? I have not watched or played it. I don't think I can play those games on my MacBook here, but I could be wrong. And then Daniel the independent territory system needs to be rebuilt from the ground up worldwide. Do you mean Huh. Do you mean is this a video game? I don't know. Either way. Uh, Daniel also says I met Rob Van Dam and Sabu in Belfast on the August 31st, 2009. Well, how about that? Dom D'Angelo's IWC Promotions, Joey Styles. Thanks, Triple E. Appreciate that. Dom Styles. Should I change my name to that? Too much like AJ. All right. Other takeaways. Obviously, MJF should and did win the AEW World Championship. From what I saw, it was really, really cool. They had the confrontation at the pre-show with Mick and MJF, and good setup. Kind of elevated even more that match later on. And then Darby did like a crazy spot and paid tribute to Mick in that fashion. So really good stuff. I think it's a great story. Some Twitter person was really critical of like them doing MJF doing a top rope or super pile driver and then turning it into the headlock takedown for the pin, and said that's stupid. Why wouldn't you just pin him for that? And for whatever reason, I mean, people just crap on stuff like. It kind of caught fire. And I'm like, why? He's telling a story. He always beats Darby with a headlock takedown. It's like adding salt to the wound. Like, it's brilliant. Like, I liked it. And you think about how many crazy spots happen on an AEW show, and the pin should be after that, and it doesn't happen. Like, that happened. It's ridiculous. What a ridiculous take. Out of how long had this person not watched modern wrestling to not understand that that's kind of how things work, and what MJF did was not even applicable to that. So it's like, I don't know, stupid. Dre Owens also adds about Joey Styles' pipe bomb promo on Raw back in the day was so good when they took him off. Yeah, that was great stuff. Really great stuff. So, boy, Munson, you got to join in for sure because we do have all this kind of discourse going on here on Rumor and Innuendo. Every Monday through Friday, you can tune in on a plethora of channels. So, but go to StudioOneSports.com. All right. What other big takeaways? Stadium Stampede. They always find a fun way to make that match memorable, and this one was no different. I think the intro that they had, almost like the Ocean's 11 intro they had for the good guys, was great. And then the aspect of what they did throughout that match, the food fight, Leo Rush showing up and interacting with Bobby Lashley, really, really fun, good stuff. Look, AEW hands down delivers the best pay-per-views. It's indisputable. Sure, they're long and like not like it's a marathon watching all that stuff. I think people were saying online too how much they should go a little earlier and give people that chance to like just take it in, make it a day event. Basically, why not? Like if you're gonna make the shows that long, start them earlier and then finish them up. Look, think about it. You go at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You finish up at like 7 p.m. Then sure, there's still people can still go out. People can still kind of like enjoy and get out into the city. I heard it was a tough time getting out of Queens there, via transit and all that stuff. Just mass humanity out there. So it makes it tough. But yeah, I thought. Oh yes, Devin Dowling also mentioned the Kevin Knight heel turn. I thought that was great too. Speedball should be a babyface. I think it should be. If you're going to start some things off, maybe make it Kevin Knight Speedball feud. I'm excited to see how Kevin Knight does as a heel. Like from a personality standpoint, I'm really excited. So yeah, I thought that was a great thing. And like I was just thinking about that. Think about Kevin Knight. He's like been there 8 months maybe, and like he was involved in the main event of AEW's like second biggest show of the year in a big angle. So good way to position him. Yeah. So overall, like, yes, I'm happy about the buzz that AEW Double or Nothing got for the company. Again, this is the time for AEW to strike. WWE has not created any goodwill amongst fans. Kevin Nash said on his podcast too, which it still resonates with me, is like wrestling cannot be corporate. And guess what? Wrestling in WWE is feeling corporate. It's big time, big time. So the fact that there's a lot of good stuff going on in AEW when it comes to the pay per view execution, that's like something to really dog ear. I will add this too. Like, not that this has caught so much wind yet. I got to write an article on it, honestly. Is that MVP was on RVD with me. So it was me, RVD, and MVP. MVP, I asked him what's the differences he liked between Tony Khan and Vince McMahon. And he gave his great reasoning for why he appreciates Vince McMahon. But then he said Tony Khan like treats AEW like a family basically and looks out for people. And that is true. That is super true. And then he also added that Tony has an open door policy when it comes to interacting with his talent. And like that is such a big thing. If you want to support people that care, and like let me get this out of the way. I think Triple H cares, like big time. I do. I think Triple H is somebody that does, and stuff like that. I don't think Triple H is totally at fault of what's going on in the ecoscape with WWE, TKO, Endeavor, all this Mark Shapiro and Ari Manuel. I think there's a lot of different, cooks in the kitchen, if you will. But like that's the thing. Tony Khan does not have to worry about. This is his company. He can do what he wants, and it's at his will to do whatever. So, like, I think it's a great step for AEW. Now is the time to strike and just keep that momentum going. Like the week in and week out Dynamite shows, there's good stuff to take away, but it's also very frustrating at certain points for the viewer to watch, for me to kind of watch, and like head scratching stuff because it's like, how do you keep all? I didn't know Kenny Omega was in the Spring Stampede match or Stadium Stampede match. I didn't know like this person was in this faction now. It's just like if they get that stuff sorted out, they position their stars and the personalities in the right manner and get things going. This is the time to strike. It really is. It really is. And it could make it an exciting time for wrestling if they do it. The onus really is on AEW to do a lot of this stuff. Like they are the second in the hierarchy here when it comes to wrestling popularity. And like, this is their time. And guess what? All that stuff raises all tides. Both, I don't know, whatever the cliche is. Did I make your question a clip? What was it? What was your question? Did I make it a clip? You're welcome, though, Devin. Please remind me. I make a lot of clips, so once I make them and I publish them, I don't think again. Tell me what the clip was, please. I guess I can't remember. I can't comment on the Athena Mina match. I did not watch it, or actually didn't see any highlights, like I said. But man, overall, what a great show. I'm kind of with you on this in a certain manner. Oh yes, I did. Oh, you mean the YouTube clip? I was thinking social media clip. Yes, I did do that. That's a good clip, Devin. Good stuff. Yes. Daniel says we need 3 different weight classes for the men and the women. To an extent, I would be all right with this. It would delineate certain titles, I think, if you do a weight class. If you figure out a way to do it and make it make sense, I'd be for it. And if it also means maybe the titles being more because they're beholden to a certain weight class, I'd be fine with it. I'd be even better with it. I mean, make the titles mean something. You have so many titles. That's another frustration. I mean, we could go on with a list of frustrations with AEW, but what we can't deny, I think, is AEW Double or Nothing and how great of a pay-per-view it was. All right. Hey, let's talk a little something. One of our sponsors is back. It's Mudwater. Yes, Mudwater is a coffee alternative, if you will, and I'm a big fan of it. I still have the container that I have of it's just straight up regular the coffee version of their thing, but it's all mushroom based. And the neat thing about Mudwater is that they're aware that this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, and as a reminder, Protecting your mind is the first act of creativity. It usually starts before 9 a.m. That's true. It does. I try to cultivate my mind before 9 a.m. every morning because I have to do work to catch up on. And every single ingredient in mud water products are 100% USDA certified organic, non GMO, gluten free, vegan, and kosher. That's also zero sugar and no sweetener added. Great thing about mud water, they give you a frother with it. You get 43% off. The frother is great. All you do too, get some hot water, or if you want milk, you can do that too, I guess. But boom, you add the mud water, you froth it up, you add the rest of the hot water, boom, you have yourself a cup of mud water, and it's good. And it's all mushroom based and stuff like that, which you feel great, gets you a little energy going, and at the same time too helps you with your mental creativity potentially too. Just get you charged up in the morning. So, ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get an exclusive deal up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use code RUMOR. That's right up to 43% off with code RUMOR at mudwtr.com. After you purchase, they'll ask you how you found them. Please support our show and let them know that Rumor and Innuendo sent you. Definitely do Mudwater, guys. I like it. If you're looking for a coffee alternative and a little change to your taste buds, give it a spin. See how you think. Pun not intended with the frother. All right. Is there anything else I wanted to cover via AEW or nothing? No, I'm just happy it was a good show. Just really was. And ride that momentum, AEW, Tony Khan. Ride that momentum. Keep it cooking. If you haven't yet, too, check out our interview we did with Anthony Bowens. That is up now at studio1sports.com. Published that on Sunday morning before, or no, I think it was it. Well, either way, I published it over the weekend. And you should check it out because we cover not just his new character change and him joining the ops, but we cover a lot of different stuff. Him work with Billy Gunn, his thought process on dealing with creative frustration, and Barry Bonds. Should he be a Hall of Famer? Anthony Mode's a big baseball fan, so we talk about that too. So very, very fun conversation. That's up now at studio1sports.com. Okay. Let me think what I wanted to talk about too. Ooh. Okay. Hey, I wanted to talk about this. I thought this was a fascinating topic, indirectly associated with wrestling. Who saw, raise your hand, who saw the Russell Crowe clip on social media of him going out and talking to fans before he started signing autographs and taking pictures? So if you do not do media literacy and you do not dive into further context of things, you would believe that Russell Crowe freaked out on fans and said, hey, stay the F away from me and clear out and, make this like the way TMZ positioned it. Another sensationalist site positioned it too. Like they put it over the top that Russell Crowe flipped out on fans. Watch the video and you'll see that that is not the case at all. What was really cool about this video, like Russell Crowe did say the F word to the fans. He was just like, hey, listen, everybody, back the F up. He was like, I'll get to everybody. Just don't come towards me. I'll come towards you. We'll get this all sorted out. I'll sign autographs. He's like, first thing, somebody that does something, I'm out of here. Okay. And then he gives a face like, all right, let's do it. And then he got to business. It was really endearing. I made me like Russell Crowe even more because I thought he handled it perfectly. Like, really, it was great. And, like, that's a promo you got to cut if you're a wrestler at an airport. It's just like, you, like, just lay it out like that. Russell Crowe laid out the blueprint for wrestlers and what they can do at airports, like star wrestlers and stuff like that. Because my goodness, it's just like, yeah, you don't know what a fan's gonna do. You don't, and that's the aspect too. It's just, it was really great stuff. I love Russell Crowe. I'm gonna watch some more of his movies now because I liked how he handled it. Hey, if you haven't ever seen 310 to Yuma, by the way, all-time Western, check it out. 310 to Yuma, him, Christian Bale, Ben Foster, if you remember that actor, Alan Tudyk in it as well. One of my all-time favorite movies. When I was at college at Clarion University, I literally went and saw that movie in theaters like 3 times. It was great. From my favorite author of all time, right behind here, you'll see it, City Primeval. That's by Elmore Leonard. Elmore Leonard who wrote 310 to Yuma, everybody. Big Elmore Leonard fan. Uh, who's this? Dax Sports. Hey, Dom, long time no see. Do you still stream? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We just talked about it earlier. RVDTV.com. Join us. Join us. Every this Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rob Van Dam and I will be live. We'll be doing giveaways. I have to determine the winners of these 2 cards that also get an RVD autograph on an opportunity for autograph. MVP right here. Somebody won this. We'll win this on Wednesday. And then RVD card here. You also get an RVD IOU. So if you ever meet RVD in person, you will get a photo op and an autograph. So there you go. All right. Join us. RVDTV.com. Wednesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Rob and I will be going live. All right. I know I plug stuff. Let's see. Dax says, I love 310. I ain't never been no hero hate. Yeah, it's such a great movie. It's great. Great movie. Awesome to hear you guys are a good duo. Thank you. You're, Daniel wants some TNA video games. I'd be up for that. Yeah, there'll be another one this week too. I'll do that raffle first, and then we'll do a new raffle this week too with stuff. I'll give some different cards away, and then another RVD IOU as well. So yeah, that's on tap. All right, let's see what else we got. Hey, before we carry on, do you want to carry on right in the bedroom? The future of erectile function is here. Blue Chew Gold is changing the way millions of men are having sex in 2026. New arousal boosting formula combines passion and performance into one tablet that dissolves under your tongue for super fast onset. No more waiting up for a pill to kick in. No more moments ruined by performance anxiety. Just results you want when you want them. Most ED meds only focus on blood flow, but Blue Chew Gold goes further by combining 2 ingredients for blood flow with 2 for mental arousal and connection. So you're not just physically ready, you are actually in the mood. This type of innovation is why Blue Chew Gold is the #1 brand in erectile function. The process is simple and all online. Get started today at bluechew.com and go for the gold. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Right now, when you buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold, you get the 3rd month for free with promo code RUMOR. That's promo code RUMOR. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Yes, thank you, Blue Chew. Longtime sponsor. Good times. All right. Let's talk Raw, huh? Let's talk a little Raw. Didn't think Raw was actually a bad show. When you put things in context of it all. Definitely not an amazing show. I will have to say, I think there was some intriguing stuff that they did between not the Bloodline, the Vision with Logan Paul being out, Austin Theory kind of having a focus, giving him that chance to kind of be a big factor throughout the show. Wanting to take people out, and he did do that. So he was like a good arc throughout the whole show, I thought. Listen, like, yeah, you can be critical of Austin Theory. Is he the guy? Is he capable of doing more than what he is? I think that's still up in the air at this juncture. But if you're giving him the opportunity to do it, this is the way to do it, you know? I like the dynamic of the Street Profits. I think from how it seems, Austin Theory took out Angelo Dawkins. Seth Rollins beat Montez Ford. And then they also revealed that, Paul Heyman revealed that Austin Theory will be tagging with Braun Breaker with those tag titles. So it just makes sense, right? You're going to have Seth Rollins and Montez Ford team up. Potentially against Logan Paul and not Logan Paul, Austin Theory and Braun Breaker. The opening segment I I liked as a television viewer. I mean, as an audience member, I don't know how much I'd feel about just watching a video on Brock Lesnar, but look, I think a lot of people forget how well Brock Lesnar can cut a promo. Like Brock Lesnar is great at cutting a promo, and this was no different. I will say, like, is he retired? He said he'd get Obafemi would get beat by a retired wrestler. Like, so is he retired? Is he not? Are they leaving that door open intentionally because of that? I like that was the head scratcher of it all. Um, like Brock Lesnar's promo was so good that if you don't think about it, he really didn't say anything that different. Like, hey, I'm gonna beat you. Okay, I'm gonna beat you. You're gonna get beat by a retired wrestler. That's kind of all that was new to that promo, but it was really good. Like, I love Brock Lesnar's promo ability. It's great. So, I mean, like, kind of helped build some stakes for it. And then Oba coming out and signing the contract on Paul Heyman's chest, scaring him, and all that stuff was pretty fun. I thought. Penta versus Oba, Penta versus Javon Evans, I thought was good, and the, the finish itself was really, I think, up for debate because like these guys were to what that troll on X was saying about the MJF superpower driver. He should have said it about this part because they were doing moves to one another and they weren't selling them like that were crazy. Like it was just a back and forth, and I understand making the finish an entertaining sequence, but you're getting taken out of the element when none of those moves are hitting and connecting and like making the person feel the effects. So was critical of that, but I do think overall it was a fun match. Um, I like Penta being on this Intercontinental run. Like they're making it seem a little bit more important, and I think that's key to do with this Intercontinental Championship and with Penta. Like Penta is so marketable, and like I love his dynamic he has with Ray. I like their exchange when Javon Evans came back and apologized to Penta, like, and then Ray and uh Penta Ray coming up to Penta and being like, "Man, remember being that age? That's crazy." And then like yeah, and then Penta being understanding. It's cool. It is cool. I like it. I like that dynamic. Um, Fun fact: if you don't, you say if you just listen to Raw, listen to Ethan Page's voice without the visual. And I seriously thought he was like Eric Bischoff for a little bit. I was like, is Bischoff on Raw? What's going on? And then I was like, oh wait, that's it. That's Ethan Page. Ethan Page is great, by the way. And I'm excited to see what they do with him. He was on commentary for the Rey Mysterio Rusev match. By the way, I said this on X. You got to get Rusev some new theme music. My God, I try to pay more attention to what the theme music is for people right now. Like Judgment Day has a good theme. Um, uh, Penta obviously has a good theme. Um, but like some of that music stinks. Like to high heaven. I uh, I work with D'Lo Brown, and I posted a video about D'Lo, X Pac, and D'Lo walking out like for a match that they had on Raw like years back, and like you just think of what entrances and music meant back in the Attitude Era. It's unbelievable how much certain wrestlers don't have that right now. There's so many wrestlers. I could hear so many themes and be like, okay, I know whose theme that is, but that theme stinks. Or like, or who is this? I have no idea whose music this is. And there's a lot of that happening for sure. Like you go back and listen to like one of the WWE albums that they would release, and I would do that because I would have wrestling figures, and so I'd have that CD burned or had it purchased somewhere, and like I would play them the music as they entered, to my ring or whatever, and like it meant something. It felt cool and great. Granted, I was a kid, so things felt like a bigger deal back then, but like I think that resonates with people, right? Like it's cool when a wrestler has a cool entrance and cool music, and then it all unfolds in the ring for them too. Like it's an important aspect, very important aspect. Um, so trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to take away before I close out. Yeah, like let's talk about that closing segment with Roman Reigns. Let me say this first too. So LA Knight comes out, cuts a promo. Look, no stranger that this show has been critical of LA Knight in certain ways, but I thought he cut a really nice promo here. I thought he did. And talked about King of the Ring. And you know what? If LA Knight wins King of the Ring, he's got to rebrand himself to LA King to really embrace that aspect. Like, that's kind of what I miss about like winning King of the Ring is when people would. Now, I'm not totally all for everybody calling themselves and then sticking with it, like King Wade Barrett, and then they had King Corbin and stuff like that. Not, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself in that. Not like when it becomes a large part of their gimmick and like it was super heavy handed, then I thought it was stupid. But say, for example, if LA King, LA Knight won the match, won the tournament, and called himself LA King, I'd kind of be all right with that. I'd kind of be all right with that. And like but you don't have to have a crown. You don't have to act like a king. That's what I don't like about it, is when they win and then they act like a king. It worked for Booker T, but Booker T was like kind of the first to really, really do it after the fact. And so, like, but if LA Knight just calls himself LA King after he wins it and it's part of his like lore, if you will, then I think that would be really fun. And it's kind of over the bloodline stuff. Really am. Just and that leads us into this final segment here. Now, what was great is that this individual showed up. Boom. Boom. Oh man, look at that. D'Angelo Security. I know a few of those other individuals there too. As a matter of fact, IWC was well represented at Columbus Raw, but like this, Marcus did his job. He was security, and like he de-escalated the situation, and then they were not needed anymore. And then, so it didn't make this segment all that amazing because the situation was de-escalated. And so all you did was got an exchange between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. I did like what Jacob Fatu had to say. I did like that they both built the stakes. Happy belated birthday to Roman Reigns. He's legitimately 8 days older than me. Roman Reigns was born on May 25th, 1985. I was born on June 2nd, 1985. So Roman has me beat by 8 days. The big dog does. So just think about our potential career trajectories and what they've taken. I'm sitting talking to all of you in my living room, and Roman Reigns has been a multi-time WWE champion, is a millionaire upon millionaire, and much bigger than I am, and physically and metaphorically speaking. So what a career trajectory we both had. Congratulations, Roman Reigns. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. But yes, the ending segment was all right. Don't get me wrong, but it was just like, okay, that's kind of it. It was it. You know, I thought overall the show was good. I did. I didn't think it was great. Didn't think it was something really right home about, except the D'Angelo Brothers security. But that's kind of that's overall it. Let's see. Triple E says, of course, Raw wasn't a bad show. It's humanly, scientifically impossible for a show to be bad when Marcus D'Angelo, the king of the indies, is there. I think that's a fair argument, Triple E. And then he says, LA Knight only wins the tournament if WWE don't hire Marcus D'Angelo full time. If they want to sell out arenas, they'll write Marcus a check. Yes, I'm not against that. I ain't against that for sure. Hopefully we'll have Marcus on Thursday. I did just talk to him, and he might be available, so we'll have to see. But I'll be back tomorrow as well, as we are every Monday through Friday on a plethora of channels, including the WWE _ish, creative _ish X account. That's Robert Carpolis. And the at Dominic D'Angelo X account, at Studio One Sports X account. And you can catch us at StudioOneSports.com. Like, share, subscribe, help get the word out about this channel. And let's get some stuff cooking, huh? This was fun. I'll be back tomorrow. Talk. What is today's Tuesday? We'll just talk the news, preview Dynamite, and have an exciting time, if you will. So, all right, everybody. See you next time here on StudioOneSports.com. Best of luck in your future endeavors. And go New York, go New York, go. Go Knicks, 4-0, baby. Let's go Jalen Brunson. Let's go Patrick Ewing. Let's go Charles Oakley. Let's go John Starks. Let's go, Knicks.
Shh.